that's not the same one. That's why it's not picking up, bro. Because if you look at, say, on the picture that I set out, the last 4 numbers is different. It say XF setup, but it's not ODAE.
Yeah, it's
All right, brother, we live.
Yeah.
All right, Shalom, Akim. All praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahawashi,
Yahawashi,
bahasham, Qadash.
Honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim out there doing the work of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, in truth, faith, and in sincerity. It's the Houston camp. We just going to hit a lesson here, just in the spirit of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, open forum style. Houston in the crosshairs, you know what I'm saying? They got Houston, all of Texas, period, but especially here in Houston, and I'm sure Dallas, they got us in the crosshairs for this COVID-19, and they gonna make their move, make their play. We're in a time right now to where, Esau's kingdom is crumbling, and Most High is forcing his hand, Everybody obeys the will of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, whether they know it or not. The Most High's will stand, and
right.
The Most High's will is to bring Esau's kingdom to naught, to ruin, to bring destruction as well as judgment to this world for their wickedness and misconduct and wrongdoings. And somebody get that in the pocket for to say because of evil, unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Yep.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another, and we're in the time of the changing of a guard, the changing of the guard. So it's gonna be fluctuations, and brothers gonna have to learn to be adaptable. As things, we in the unknown territory,
right.
So it would behoove every brother to be flexible and to be able to adapt and do it on the fly sometimes. But yeah, whoever had that verse, let's bring that out.
It's Sirach 10:8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
And this is the most this is the most wickedest kingdom that ever existed in the history of mankind. So this kingdom ain't lasting forever. This is not the everlasting kingdom. Yahawashi, the only begotten of the Father, will come back to establish that everlasting kingdom.
Right. But
right now, this kingdom of Esau, so-called white man, is done. It's finished. So one more time on that.
Sirach 10:8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings.
Unrighteous dealings. That's what Esau excels in.
right.
Esau, Edom, he excels in unrighteous dealings. It's like him mandating that everybody wear a mask. That's an unrighteous dealing for something that don't exist. This COVID pandemic, as they call it. A mask could kill you before the COVID will.
Right.
And not only that, it's a whole laundry list of this devil Esau and all of his unrighteous dealings. And how he just, put an overbearing oppression on the children of Israel in total. That he's gonna have to answer for these things.
Okay.
But
Okay.
go ahead, brother.
Sirach 10:8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings.
So unrighteous dealings, go ahead.
Injuries.
Man, how many, like George Floyd, injuries,
Right.
to the point of death. Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, the list go on and on.
Right.
Sandra Bland,
Right.
Freddie Gray. It's a whole laundry list, and this is just to name a few.
Right.
That ain't even the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
So you got these injuries and just, man, it's so much. It's a lot. People losing their jobs, doors are closing in the streets, as the scriptures say, and that's going to lead to crime, skyrocketing in Houston every day. Jake's getting shut up.
Right.
Jake's getting put to death out here.
Right.
That's a part of the Most High judgment that also It tells the tale of the times that we are in. You know? But go ahead.
It says, Sirach 10 and 8,
Mhm.
it says, and riches got by deceit.
It just got by deceit. Before y'all get the precepts, somebody go to James 5. So riches got by deceit. That's how this white boy built his fortune.
Right.
Riches got by deceit. It's called fractional reserve banking,
Right.
which stems from the was it the fraction the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm. Right.
These what they call them? The banks.
Which ones? The
Like-
mega banks?
Well, like
Central? No. IMF?
no, not that one.
Oh.
It's a term, but anyway,
Okay,
it's just like the Federal Reserve Bank. These banks that loan to countries on interest. This is how Esau builds his fortune.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. He preaches to you to go out and work hard because he wants you to be a slave, but he ain't worked a day in his life.
Right.
He pushes that on you, or you less than a man. You ain't. But you know, to say if you need help or you can't pull yourself up, as they say, by your bootstraps, you less of a man. But they eating off of everybody else.
Right.
They get their money off of usury, which usury is basically theft.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it can be theft in some sense, but right, what did it say in James 5?
It's James 5:1. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eaten.
So it's saying your riches are corrupted and your garments moth-eaten. Why? Because this riches gotten by deceit. He stole everything that he got. They came over here and set up America off of opium money. Well, built up America, these Edomites, off of opium money that they ran through China in the Dutch East India Company, which is basically a shipping company, and they basically flooded China with opium. Got everybody addicted, and they built vast fortunes. They had drug empires going back to the probably the late 1700s.
Right.
You know,
Right.
drug empires. And they came over, the founder of Yale University. It was from that clique, the Dutch East India. I forget his name too. I'll see if I can look that up, but right, he founded Yale with that drug money. So a lot of America, and still to this day, the American economy, we ain't producing nothing.
Right.
How do they still have the power that they have, this dollar? How does it have the power that it has? By the black market, drugs and everything else illegal, which is all coming to a close, but that lends to the credibility of these scriptures that brothers are bringing out. So one more time out. Well, you had the James, yeah.
It's James 5:2. It says, your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eaten.
Go ahead.
Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
Now we know gold and silver don't canker. So it's talking about the method in which they acquired this gold and silver, the method in which they built these vast fortunes, you know, which it's been said that the Rawchaa net worth is like $500 trillion. Yeah, that's all come off the blood, sweat, and the tears of first and foremost the children of Israel, but then you go to the heathens, you know, but they fund wars for profit. Who was that told you that? Smith, what's his name? No, Smedley Butler. No, I'm thinking Smith. Smedley Butler wrote the book, Wars of Racket. And he was in the Marines, top general, and he said basically all he was doing was going to these countries and basically starting wars so that the U.S. could go in and do what they do, get all the resources, and basically gain control over the people, and then just suck that country of all its natural resources, which you see going on in Africa. This is why their gold is cankered. Their gold and silver is cankered. Their garments are moth-eaten. You understand? Because these devils are corrupt.
Right.
So now we in the time, we coming to the time where that corruption is coming to an end. Corruption cannot be sustained. So there has to come an end at some point in time. And we see it in sight. We see that end in sight. Go ahead, brother. You got some more in the James?
It says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. They
See,
shall eat your
the rest
flesh.
of them shall be a witness against you.
Right.
Now people rising up. Nobody trusts the U.S. dollar no more.
Yep.
People want to go to alternate forms of currency. We're going back to what the Most High set up as money, gold and silver.
Right.
You know, people getting their gold and silver big time. You know, because that rust, they see that rust. Somebody hold Ecclesiastes 12.
And 3.
You know, well, yeah, 12 and 10, just holding on that. But yeah, that rust is witness against you. Read that one more time, brother.
It says, James 5 and 3, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. It says, behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth.
See, that's us, man. That's why the scriptures say, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And the wicked, you go into that word in the Hebrew, amal, mean laborers.
Right.
And it can also go into the sufferers. But that's what the scripture, read that verse again, brother.
James 5 and 4, behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields.
The hire of the laborers, who are the laborers?
Right.
The children of Israel.
Right.
So you go to Judges 5 and 11, and it speaks about the places of drawing waters. That's America. We are the water drawers, you know. But what they do, they hit you before you even see your money. They taking out child support. They getting taxes off the top.
Right.
Then they taking out child support. They hitting you with you know, if you got benefits,
Right.
medical, dental, all that shit come out.
Right.
You know, and then half your check is gone by the time you get it. Kept back by fraud. Insurance is a goddamn fraud. man.
Absolutely. Right.
Fuck insurance. I had to go pay insurance today, and I never filed an insurance claim in my life. And like Chris Rock said, if nothing happens, shouldn't you get that money back?
You don't need to know. That shit just
Yeah,
in case money.
They just, yeah, that's what he called it, just in case. But yeah, you really just throwing that money away.
Right. And like if you talk to the average person, they always tell you that they're aware of scams. This is a scam. This is a scam. Shit, he saw insurance is the biggest scam. going,
America,
bro. That's one of the fucking knows.
right?
man.
America in itself is like your brother. America in itself is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. But anyway,
Con.
Yeah, that's right, bro. You don't never get in a wreck or nothing, but you never see that money again.
Right.
And then a lot of time you get in a wreck, or like people out here during the time of the flood had flood insurance, they did not pay out. They did not get people who lost their homes or had their homes flooded and had flood insurance. The companies just basically said to hell with you.
Right.
You know? And I've seen that happen on more than one occasion. But yeah, kept back by the sea. Go ahead.
Hey, bro. Hey, you got something, bro?
Yeah. And they've been paying that flood insurance for years on top of years on top of years. Then the flood finally come and they can't get a goddamn thing.
They life insurance.
Same way.
Pay. When you die, they give you what, 40, 50?
Right.
Man, it's like,
I got a quick one, brother. It's,
You got it, bro.
Psalms 10 and 5. His ways are always grievous.
right.
And speaking about Esau, the so-called white man, you know, shit, having to go deal with insurance and, you know, like the elder was saying, you know, all these different things we gotta, you know, pay and, you know, be subjected to.
right. That's no benefit to us.
That was it.
I mean, that was the point.
All right, bro.
James 5 and 4, behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is killed back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you.
And that's the point. So yeah, Esau has lived carelessly. He's wanton, undisciplined, and just he doing whatever.
Yeah.
Anytime you know you can just set up, I don't know what you like, labs to create diseases. You wanton.
Right.
You careless.
Right.
Yeah, CDC care. You know all that to destroy life. So then that's the nature of this devil. He's anti-life. He's anti-Messiah.
Right. Right.
So yeah, we have to, and it said that the cries of those who suffered at the hands of this devil have gone into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. So
Right.
we got to keep crying and complaining to Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi.
Right.
Isaiah said, give him no rest.
Right. Right.
Until he establish and make Israel a praise in the earth. So we got to keep putting up these cries for Yahawah to send his only begotten Yahawashi to come get us out this situation. So,
Come on.
I got preset real fast.
okay, let me finish this and then we're gonna get these precepts. So go ahead and finish that one, bro.
This is Sirach 10:8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit,
Fraud.
the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So we're in the time of a translation.
Right,
So
right.
in the time of translation, you have to be ready to adapt. You have to be flexible.
Absolutely.
Because anything can go down at any time.
Right.
Just like we planned to hit the block all week. We thought we was going to, you know.
To the last hour.
Right.
Wasn't no doubt that we weren't gonna be able to hit the block.
Exactly. Then they put the issue out, you know, about the mask, and then all of a sudden parks closing up.
Right.
Quick, you know.
Literally within an hour. And then the hour was supposed to be there. Shit.
So we just we just had to adapt. And going forward, that's how it's gonna have to be. But yeah, brothers.
Right. Yeah, I just want to grab this real quick.
Precepts in order.
Yeah, fine. This is I got two of them real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And really that's America in itself. You know, that's Esau's, gift of how's it worded? The pen is mightier than the sword. So he has both, you know what I'm saying? He has a sword to enforce these stupid ass laws, and then he'll fine your ass, if you don't wear a mask. Like, how do you equate that, man? The brother had talked about, man, grievousness, man. I'll read that again.
That's grievous, bro.
That's grievous as hell.
Because a motherfucker, bro.
Right, and it's vexing, because, we understand, all of these things have to happen in accordance to prophecy and accordance to, the kingdom being translated. However, this is for, brothers to be able to identify, this is what these damn devils do on a daily basis, man. And this is why America's going to be judged. One of the many reasons. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Right.
And this is across the globe.
Right.
No one else has that quote unquote power than Esau, the so-called white man. Not the Arabs, not anybody else. Okay? It's
That's about to say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right?
exactly. But this is to help brothers identify why all of these things are happening and why Yahawah is going to judge this place. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
That's right. And that's the children of Israel. The needy, the poor.
Right.
That's the children of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and wherever else the Most High have you scattered throughout the four corners. Wherever you find Jake collected together, there's going to be poverty, there's going to be crime.
Right.
You're going to see ignorance,
Right.
this stupidity, nigga doing dumb shit. But one thing we all have in common is that we poor and needy, man. I don't care if you got $250,000 sitting in the bank, $500,000.
Exactly.
That ain't
Right.
doing shit. That ain't no money nowadays.
Right,
Right.
It's more money than I got.
Right.
But
What you gonna
they
do?
break that down. That need to be told to Jake, bro. You know what I'm saying? It need to
Okay.
be told to Jake. That might be more than you used to see him. That ain't big money, man.
Right. If I could add real quick, I was watching this guy the other day, and basically he said, in so many ways that 87% of the world's wealth has already been secured,
Put away.
meaning that you
I
cannot
can
get
see
that.
it. I can see that.
And so essentially for us, just going back to the, scenario of not having money or whatever, being poor and, needy, there's only 13% in which we could possibly get of the whole quote unquote pie that's left. And with Esau doing this economic heist through this falsified, virus, I wouldn't be surprised if that 13% is more like 5.
Right.
So that was it.
Man, yeah, that's beautiful, man. But yeah, Jake been poor so long, what they think is money ain't really money.
Right.
Right,
And as
right.
Apostle Tahar always say, that's why you can buy a nigga cheap.
Right.
You can buy a nigga cheap. Niggas be selling out for these record deals and shit, and then what they might get a couple of million.
Yep.
Let's say they get up in the 10, even 100 million.
Right.
You still ain't got enough to play in the arena with Esau.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
The brother's been speaking on wealth, but with wealth comes power. And that's something that we don't have and we're not used to having, is power.
Right.
And if your money don't bring you no power, you ain't got no money.
Right.
If you can't shut down shit and open up shit,
There you go.
you ain't got no money.
Right.
Right. Can you call up on a war?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, change policy.
Right. Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
you
policy
pull,
beautiful.
right,
brother.
right. Can you pull a coup de grace?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Right. Yeah. I just want to touch on real quick. You had talked about the entertainment industry, but really it's all industries as well. Work.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
Esau uses, like we had talked about James, he will use other nations for his benefit. You know what I'm saying? But we are the poorest of the poor. In regards to money in itself. But that's Esau's system, man. He's gonna have you work for him, and because we don't have a understanding or we just don't know. You know what I'm saying? A lot has been stripped from us, but as far as our own value, you know what I'm saying? To Yahawashi, we're precious. You know what I'm saying? But here in this world, man, we're scum. And so that's the reason why we're treated that way. But all of these things lead back to that kingdom being translated, because it was never meant for Esau, the so-called white man, to rule eternally. It was only for a temporary time, and that time is almost up, man. So I got one more.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Let's Habakkuk 2, and I'm gonna start at 5. It says, "Yea, also, because he transgressed it by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell."
Now, wine goes into doctrines and philosophies. So this is what he transgressed by. This is why you read the scripture and talk about that great city, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Esau then adopted the wine or the doctrine and philosophy of Sodom. He's a Sodomite.
Right.
He adopted that wine of the Egyptian, going back to Kemet and all that. The whole ISIS and all that mythos that was big in Egypt. He brings that back. Esau behind closed doors, and he gets into the occult. He's a witch. They're witches and warlocks.
Right.
And they get into all this stuff that, going back, these rituals and all that, these masons and all that. They big on Egypt, man. They real big on Egypt. And then you can go back to them Grecian Edomites and them Roman Edomites.
Right.
There's something about Egypt, man. But yeah,
Yeah, boy.
and it got Jake under that spell.
Right.
But he transgressed it by wine.
Right.
So and that's just to name a few. Everything he does, he transgresses in.
Right. He's an offense.
Very much so. You got it, brother.
Gun. It says, "Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man,
Right.
neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Verse 6, and this is going to the point. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that's essentially the whole, method by which Esau actually terrorizes people. You know, brother had talked about how, they'll send over a guy, to start a racketeering, start war, just to where he can absorb that thick clay, that debt, get countries into debt. And once they get into debt,
Central bank, that's what I was thinking of earlier.
Okay. And through them going into debt, okay, what Esau will do now is hoard all of their resources, man. And even, you go to work, you're labeled, classified as a human resource, So once again, all of the whole system in itself is built off of debt, and that debt is how he increaseth those riches gotten by deceit, because he'll have you sign a contract, basically, giving up all your quote unquote unalienable rights, and so by doing all of that, you become a slave to him, as scriptures say, the servant is borrowed to the lender, and that's what Esau creates in every scenario, a whole globe of slaves, and literally he is the one that is the only benefactor. And if anyone else eats, it's because he's already made a contract or a negotiation with them on how much they're going to eat. They're eating the scraps from what he's already eaten. So of that quote unquote 87%, you maybe have the other heathen nations, 10 to 12% of that.
And then, if I may say, while he throw you the scraps, and you starve and you got your face in the trough and not looking, then he gonna come overthrow you, man.
That's right.
And come overtake you, man. Has he not done it? What does his track record show, man?
That's right. I mean, us being in America right now, man, we were stolen.
Right.
We came over here looking for employment, according to what they teach in school, bro.
Yeah,
we left Africa, come over here looking for work, bro.
we migrated.
Right.
Like
stolen, man.
Right. Exactly. We had all we still do, but when we were in our land, we had all the resources, But once again, this is how these damn devils operate, man. Let's read that again. That's Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? And everything in this earth is for Israelites. So the earth in itself, he increaseth, riches that way, but it's not his. It was given to him. Isn't that what the scriptures say?
This is blessing though.
Right.
This is blessing. He got
Right. He was given that blessing, but it's not his. It's Yahawashi. And that's what that's the reason why it's being translated back to its rightful ownership. It says, how long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay. Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? And what we've been seeing here lately is a lot of these statues being taken down. You're seeing a lot of protests, and although it's in vain, but these other nations, China, Russia, Iran put out a warrant on Donald Trump. I don't know if I've ever seen that. You brothers ever seen that? Like another nation put out a warrant for the president?
I don't know, U.S. president. No.
Right.
And I want to say they had made mention that they were going to use Interpol.
Right, they serious about that. That's not just, they serious, bro.
Right.
They fucking serious about that shit.
Right. So, once again, all of these things are happening because America is being judged.
Right.
By Yahawashi. Last verse, verse 8, it says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Plenty of bloodshed. Going back to what the elder was talking about as far as us being nimble, us being agile, us being flexible, because you can get caught up. Scripture talks about how Satan, seeking as a roaring lion, whom he can devour. That's the case for what was the dude name that just died? I don't even remember. Floyd. He got caught up. Now he might be a part of the whole, psyop, but he got caught up, okay, through Esau's swords. His gift of shedding blood. Scripture says he cannot be satisfied with death.
Right.
Okay? What does that tell you? He's already drinking blood. He's already a pedophile. His ways are not the ways of Yahawashi. He is trying to destroy the nation of Israel. But that was all I had, bro.
I was gonna say you had one before me. Are you good? Okay. So this is Psalms 73.
Beautiful.
Starting at verse 5, it says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men."
Man, let's start at the top.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Come. This Psalm 73 verse 1, it says, "Truly, Yahweh is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain."
Right.
Hey, real quick, Salaki, brother, go back real quick if you don't mind.
Which verse do we go?
Wherever you stopped at,
Okay.
just go back a little bit further.
It says, "For there are no bands in their depths, but their strength is firm.
Right?
They are not in trouble as other men,
Okay.
neither are they plagued like other men."
Neither are they plagued like other men. Why? Because they can actually write those grievous laws against everybody else. And that's the reason why typically, when they kill Jake in the street, especially if you're a police officer, they're charged. You know what I'm saying? I just want to throw that in there real quick.
Okay, that's like when the Rawchaa said, "I care not who runs the nation's money," because
Who make the laws?
Who make the laws,
because
right.
he control the money,
Right.
So he ain't care about the laws because he over the laws. In other words, so he ain't going through what the regular citizens going through.
Exactly.
And all you gotta remember too, you can't touch Cain right now. So
Right.
you feel me? Esau, he ain't in his time to go through shit. Well, Nas is getting his time
Yeah.
to go through shit, but in the past it haven't been his time to go through shit, man. Cause he was in his blessing, So you got it, bro.
Right, that remind me of the elder brother just said the central bank. The central bank, the ones that distribute the money to the different governments, and they write the policies.
Right?
Yeah, and that's why they had an economic hitman.
Right.
Like Smedley Butler. Although he was military, he was basically sent out as an economic hitman. So Esau could get in there and set up a central bank in these countries. That's how they loot the country. And laden them, the people with thick clay with these central banks.
Right.
And once you get in debt, okay, then, well, you got some oil on that land, let us mine that oil, or drill that oil. You got diamonds, let us mine them diamonds.
Yep.
They're cold.
Yep.
And then he just sucks that land.
Right.
Drive of his resources. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that remind me of the fornication with the whore. That's what these other nations committing with Babylon the Great,
Kings
which is
of the earth.
America.
Right,
You know,
the king of the earth.
Remember it said in Revelations they go get a kingdom unto the beach,
Right.
So
Just for monetary gain. They're making deals.
protection and shit. It's a lot.
They're making deals to get money. Central banks, they building dams and all these different deals just to get money, but they seeing the morale of America and they not agreeing with it. That's why you see these different nations like Russia, Iran, China, they come up with the BRICS nations. That's an alliance among these other nations to come against Esau. Come against America. That's why the basis of the BRICS nation is the gold back standard. They're coming against the US dollar, and that's actually a proxy war against America. Okay? But
people don't understand what's going on globally.
Right.
It's a coalition amongst Iran, what you got, the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, Iran,
India.
right, India, not Iran, India, South Africa, okay,
China.
and China. The BRICS nations coming against America, man, because they see the wine that has spread amongst the world is destroying the world. And they for the money, but they not for destroying their people as Esau is.
Right,
That's where you get Jeremiah 51:7. You know, they drunk the wine, now the nations are they mad. They bugged out and they pissed off, you know.
You got it, bro. That's a horrible combination.
Just a little more, it says, therefore pride compassed them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. And so this has, the points that the brother was making, man, that, Esau got all this money and control, he's dictating things, he's oppressing people, then he'll turn around and start talking shit about you, man. Especially our people.
Right.
They speak wickedly concerning oppression because Esau look at our hell as nothing. Oh, get over it. Even though that you didn't beat our ass for 500 years, you say get over it, man.
Right.
That show you that this man has no so-called compassion or mercy towards our people.
Right.
And this is why him and the Father going to exterminate them eventually,
Yeah, I
And
guess.
this is why Jake, real quick, this is why Jake have to have a movement called Black Lives Matter, because
Right.
Jake been shitted on for so long.
Right.
He want to be heard, and seen like, look, my life matter too, but
Double NAACP don't work no more, bro?
I guess not.
It's gone.
Damn, they forgot about them.
It's damn Boule society.
They got bought out.
Right, just like Black Lives Matter.
Hey,
Right.
just real quick, the brother had mentioned something, the brother was talking about the rights of decrees. I don't know how it in Texas, but in Mississippi, man, the white man owned the mineral rights to the land. They got Jake that own hundreds of acres of land, but you own that grass and that topsoil.
Exactly.
If you dig in there on your own land,
Right.
if you find any kind of minerals, anything, you all own that, bro.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's unrighteousness, bro.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, just to add to that, right? When you go into different commercial real estates, they can actually sell the air
Ain't that
above the
something?
land.
Ain't that something?
So likewise, yeah.
Come on, bro.
That's unrighteous
Bro.
as hell.
Right, bro. It's madness.
That's unrighteous as hell, bro. When I heard that shit, you can own your house, you can own it, square foot or whatever, right?
Right.
And then the grass and all the rest of that, like you said, anything below the ground, you don't own.
Right.
But then likewise, anything above your house,
Right.
you don't own that either.
That's why when you want to add something to your house, you gotta get all them
Exactly.
and all that shit from the city.
Exactly.
He about to charge your ass.
That's crazy.
God's pure madness, bro.
I believe I heard Trump say that he didn't want to buy no skyscrapers. They didn't want to sell it, so he lost the airspace around there or something.
I might have heard that too.
I believe I heard he said that mentioned that one time.
In my neighborhood, they be sending out emails and updates and shit. They just
Hey,
sent one.
Shema.
They just sent one email to every person in our neighborhood. Say if you want to modify your house or add on, you have to check with them first and go through a protocol. You can't just add on what you want to add on. But that's your yard, though, right?
Right.
It ain't your yard. That's
But
it
it's
ain't
not.
your yard.
It's not.
It ain't your yard.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
You can't even put a patio. You gotta check with them first. you know?
Right. And that's the unrighteous decrees which the brothers was going into. My people actually own like the oil fields, the oil that was in the ground. They had the oils pumping on 3 different locations, but Esau came through and bought the mineral rights. Our people sold it for X amount of dollars, bought the mineral rights. Now our people no longer getting checks and they don't own nothing.
Right.
On the land no more. So that's an unrighteous decree, and what Esau do, he get that smooth speech. You gonna get paid as long as the oil is pumping, you gonna get paid. Soon as you sell the mineral rights, the oil stop pumping. Esau cut it off, so you no longer getting paid, but he own everything under that ground now.
Yep.
And he make you sign those contracts.
You don't think he saw the chapter?
Yeah,
You know
no.
what I'm saying? Shit.
Well, they not drilling for some reason. There's a lot of oil in America that they not drilling.
Stop
They don't
the
have
drilling.
They
They
stop
don't
it.
want to.
Got a need for it.
They don't want to refine it.
Right.
I don't know why, but
They got a surplus right now.
There's a lot of oil in America.
But we ain't never been no shortage, bro.
Yeah, that's how they do. See, like I was saying, you can buy a nigga for cheap.
Right.
No disrespect to your people, bro, but
Nah,
They
you know,
simple, though.
Jake ain't never seen no money, so Esau come, let me buy the mineral rights.
Right.
You know, I give you $1 million. The oil in there might have been worth 100 million.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But like you say, as long as it's pumping, then they shut down the pumps. It's just to you know, see your people go under.
Right.
You
And
know?
a couple years after that, like, they had got what, like $500,000. 5 years later, dead broke.
Right, and then you know, even in Esau's scenario, right? You know, he can inflate, you know, the money, he can turn it down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So money in itself isn't sustainable because he's the one that's actually inflating it and deflating it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He can just flood the market with money. You know what I'm saying? Or take out different resources, and he can control the whole thing just like you know you playing the game. You know,
Yeah,
It is.
That's power.
that is
That's
power.
That's what wealth do. But yeah, who was that? You was finishing?
Come. Yeah, it was on that.
So yeah, that's Esau right there. That 73rd chapter going to specifically Esau. You know, and then King David said, you know, I was envious of the wicked.
Right.
He said until I saw their end. You know, and see now we seeing this devil's end.
That's right, brother.
It's hell when you have money, used to having money, and then the Most High bring you low. Somebody go to Isaiah real quick and say, how have thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, Isaiah 14.
Think about that, especially in the elites, because they
Right.
ain't never lifted a
They
fucking
ain't never
finger.
did a day of work.
And they first day when Yahawashi come back. Well, you know how it play out, but you would have to hardcore slavery. You never lifted a finger. Come on, man. That the Most High set it up perfect, and he made them get old in their riches. You know,
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, they deserve it. Hell, we couldn't touch them.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah, you about to get touched. Pursuing Isaiah 47.
In the words of a British historian by the name of Lord Acton, he made the quote, "Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely." Man.
Yep.
Okay? And Esau's the perfect, hey girl, I had to put Esau's face right next to that, man. Okay?
Right.
The power he's gained, he's corrupted all the way, bro. He ain't got no good, not even for himself or his own, bro. That's how far he done gone, man. Okay? But that time has come to an end, man. Like we used to say, look, do you know what time it is? It's the time of translation, man. This shit is a wrap, man. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
We got to Isaiah 14.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Isaiah 14 and 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven?
A couple verses.
Like 9.
9. Isaiah 14 and 9, it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Hell from beneath. Showing you that hell is a condition. It ain't talking about underneath in the earth. And then you go down there, then there's a realm of hell.
Right.
No, this hell is beneath, referring to a low condition. So hell from beneath.
I'm sorry, bro.
You're talking about a low condition.
Right, bro. Hey, hell, underneath the ground. People jumping around from, you know what I'm saying? Dodging fire rocks, bro. That's madness, bro.
It is. But that's the world of mythos that Jathan made a reality, and it's not a reality. Reality is you living in hell.
Right.
You know, Wu-Tang said it. I gotta give it to Wu-Tang. You know?
People say it all the time, man. I'm catching hell.
Right.
Child as hell. I'm broke as hell.
But you ain't on fire though.
Damn.
You ain't no pitchfork.
Right.
Right.
Straight up.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I got a quick one to prove. You know, this Matthew 11 and 23. This Yahawashi, and thou Capernaum, which is a city, which are exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. Talking about, telling you it's a condition. Capernaum, a literal city, won't go drop into no fire under the ground. It says, for the mighty works which have been done, indeed have been done in Sodom and Gomorrah, it will have remained to this day. But the point, Capernaum was lifted up like America, man. Exalted up, but it was brought down to a lower state. The same thing, America. It's a city that's, the condition is high, man. You know, dwelling carelessly. But it's going to be brought down low, man.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
That's right. Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 14:9, it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. He stirred up the dead for thee.
So this is the process that we are witnessing right now. See, Most High is moving hell to meet Esau. So Esau is up there in heaven.
Mm.
He's in his rulership.
Right.
He's having things, calling shots. But the Most High said, hell from beneath is moved to meet thee. Most High gonna put this devil in straits.
Right.
He's gonna start with straits, but he gonna end up ultimately in hell. And that's when we get Most High past that scepter unto us.
Right.
We're gonna put straight pure hell on you Edomites.
Right.
Right.
And the brothers that make it, they gonna remember COVID.
Right.
They gonna remember all the Jim Crow.
Right.
All the Emmett Till, all that wickedness you done did. The brothers that the Most High preserved, they gonna remember all that. And they gonna put it on your ass, man. They gonna remember taxes and child support.
Right.
All this little unnecessary shit that you do.
Right, and all of this is to try to get your lick back, because ultimately, you mad at Yahawashi for his prophecy, and his prophecy was never for you to actually rule forever, and so you bringing this hell on us, but ultimately you lose. So it don't even matter, man. You being in your kingdom now, you know what I'm saying? It was a temporary kingdom, it ain't gonna be nothing like ours, But hell yeah, that hell we gonna bring on you, bro. Hey, it's gonna be one in which has never been experienced. Because we've experienced your hell, the hell that you brought on us. You haven't experienced the hell through Yahawashi that we gonna bring on you.
I'm gonna make Esau a mask in the field.
This scripture, what you were saying, it reminds me of Luke 16 about Lazarus.
Right. Well,
Lazarus and the rich man. That's the perfect parable to match what the brothers are going into,
Right. I got something too whenever you got a second.
All right.
Isaiah 14:9, it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, and stir up the dead for thee.
The dead of the other nations, and you see them being stirred up. The brothers talking about Iran, they got a hit out on Trump, basically.
That's crazy.
That's the dead being stirred up. And then you go into read on.
Verse 9, it says, even all the chief ones of the earth.
Even all the chief ones of the earth, Iran still pissed off over Soleimani,
Right.
Khomeini, that general. So, and Iran is just one. You got China, China pushing for that #1 spot. So, hey, they don't give a damn about Esau and what Esau talking about.
Right.
They've been stocking gold, silver. They buying up land here in America.
Yeah.
Got businesses and stuff out here. They into the tech real big.
I was just gonna bring that up. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Kind.
China and Japan.
Right.
They both big in tech right now, and that's where everything is.
Right.
It's in the tech. You want to be in the trend and stay in the loop. Hey, it ain't that manual labor no more. Manual labor about to be done away with. Everything be robotics and AI and all that shit.
Right.
The money is in tech, and that's where China is. That's where Japan is, and a lot of their tech was I don't want to say stolen, but given away. A lot of their stuff came from America that was sold, especially during the time of the Clintons. They sold a lot of secrets, and then China got, and they built on it and developed it further than what the white boy would have done anyway. But this is where we at. The dead are being stirred up, and they saying, you know what, we got to take now. Man, China and Japan got technology, man.
Right.
And even you look at Russia. Russia put they tech into the military. Russia got missiles that, man, generations above what America has.
Right.
So they like, really, America becoming third world. Ain't nobody checking for America no more. There was a time you had to check in with America.
Right.
Now they saying, fuck that bitch, man, we gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
That's what these countries saying. They being stirred up, even the chief ones. They like, man, shit, I'm sick of this shit. Look, we gonna do it this way.
Right.
Like the brother mentioned BRICS. What the hell with America? Look, between us, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, we can run the world.
Right.
And then once they get in the power, they'll start fighting amongst themselves. But
Right, right.
that's how it go. But yeah, everybody got the crosshairs on America, ready to pull the trigger. They itching to pull the trigger. But Most High holding back them, got them angels holding back the winds till he ready. So it's a little bit more, brother.
Isaiah 14:9, it says, latter end, it says, even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones. All the kings of the nations. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isaiah 14:10, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
See, this is their sentiment. This is what they saying.
Right.
They say America. They say, man, America is weak. Why in the hell should I listen to them? They weak, pathetic, wicked, morally bankrupt. Nobody want to follow America. Go ahead.
Verse 10, it says, art thou become like unto us? 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
Right, because the nation getting they got the missiles, like I said, the technology too, to fire the missiles intercontinentally.
Right.
You got to go in them ultrasonic subs carrying missiles. Just fire them off the coast, pull up to right to the coast,
Right.
and then fire them on land. And Russia got something you don't even know that's there.
Right.
They can cloak so good, radar won't pick them up, nothing.
They sit right
They
there.
be right there on the coast,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
packed with missiles, ready to go. They had them, I forget the technology, the name of it, but a Russia aircraft shut down the,
ELP.
it was something like that, but it's EMP style, but it's like they could focus it. See, like a regular EMP just shut down everything that's
In a radius,
in this
yeah.
reach.
Right, right.
But this one, like, they could target, and it just shut down everything. All you have to do is type in USS Donald Duck. Not Donald Duck, Donald Cook.
Cook. Is that it?
Cook.
Yeah. Okay.
What's wrong with the string, bro?
This is a battery.
The battery low.
Just hit the it's in the
The
back.
charger?
Yeah, just hit the side of it. It should come.
Yeah, the Donald Cook?
Yep. U.S. Donald Cook.
Yes.
I'll pull it up.
Okay, yeah, you got it, but,
That-
what was
The name
the
of the
tech that they,
Yeah, just hit it
oh
on the side.
the incident. Okay, I'll bring it up.
but they said this, was it an aircraft carrier?
Yep. It looks like. I'll have
So these Russian jets shut it completely down. They were just sitting in the water. They couldn't move. They couldn't call for help. No communications, nothing. Just standing dead in the water.
sitting ducks.
Right. So, yeah, the nation saying it has not become weak as weak. Because these nations coming up. You got it?
Yeah, just in case it got.
Yeah, that's like Angela Merkel just said, America ain't no more superpower.
Right.
Exactly, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's something like
And they
the
being
other
banned
day,
from the
it's
EU.
like- Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Which one is this?
The brother had posted it on the group meeting.
Hold it on
Oh,
deck,
okay.
bro. And they call it a mystery weapon.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to. I mean, I can read it, but I was trying to figure out what. Oh, here it is. I got it. All right. This is from VOA news.com. And the title of it says Russian mystery weapon claim seen as sign of military weakness. And this is from May 2nd, 2017. It says, Washington, does Russia have a mystery weapon capable of threatening the entire U.S. Navy? Russian media have claimed that the Russian military has developed technology capable of neutralizing an adversary's aircraft, ships, and missiles in a 5,000 kilometer radius. The claim first reported said a Russian warplane has successfully tested the electronic jamming device on a U.S. warship, the destroyer Donald Cook, in the Black Sea. Yeah, I mean I could read a little bit more, but yeah, I'll read down, but you can.
Yeah, but that's the point of it. I was trying to see it was the name of that system, but it probably doesn't go into it. But anyway, the nation, go back and read that.
Con, it's Isaiah 14 and 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, and stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Verse 10, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, in the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee.
Right, so that pump, that pride, the Most High is bringing it low.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And we see that with these Edomites, you know, just these everyday crackers that, you know, you would see that used to be proud. A lot of them, they're losing jobs, losing houses due to this COVID. A lot of them losing businesses.
Right.
They, you know, once had a small business, mom and pop style type of business, whatever they was into, whatever they was doing. A lot of them having to shut down. So yeah, that pride, Most High bringing the pride of a lot of these Edomites down. You still got proud Edomites out there, but you see them starting to lose that pomp though. Go ahead.
Con, it says, in the noise of the vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Right, worms dealing with corruption. Just yeah, basically corruption. You see in America, man, America is on the downfall, man, as far as when you talk about infrastructure, buildings and all this, the streets, sidewalks and all this. Only when you go into the more affluent neighborhoods, you know, it'll be kept up somewhat. But
Right.
man, as a whole, especially here in Houston, man, you play dodgeball with the potholes.
Right.
You gotta be, or you tell you,
Right.
you'll wear your car out in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
There's these potholes, man. Some of them will tear your car up, cause they don't have the money to put into, you know, fixing these streets, fixing, uplifting the city. But people paying more taxes than ever before. So what's going on?
Corruption.
I seen them motherfucker hit a pothole and they killed their car, bro.
Man,
Some
some
little
of them,
Nissan, they hit the pothole, bing! That motherfucker killed, bro.
Wow.
Damn, it was that big of a deep of a pothole, bro.
man.
Hey, the name of that system, Mark, they say is Karashuka.
Oh.
Karashuka. The Russian electronic welfare system.
Okay.
Welfare?
Warfare,
Oh,
salam.
okay.
Warfare, salam, bro.
No, okay.
So there you have it. One more time, Mike.
Yeah, it's Krasukha. Karashuka. The Russian electronic warfare system.
So yeah, them Russian Edomites, they up on it, man. While you got your average Joe over here, they got the mindset to where like they got it and they can't lose it. But you got everybody gunning for their spot, and in the process of them, the Edomites here in America thinking that they got it, they falling back, getting comfortable. The military even weak. You know, military is an ongoing joke worldwide.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so America really is right for the picking.
Right.
But the Most High setting them up
Right.
according to His word. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14 and 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Now, that was the point. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Lucifer right here is referring to Esau, Edom, because they are being brought down. Their pomp is being brought down. Everything about them and their kingdom is being brought down. The Most High spreading the worm under this place. Is decaying,
Right.
Right.
falling apart. And so, right, everything that, like I said, once was admired about America, man, the people that once flocked over here, they trying to go back to their, a lot of them trying to go back to their country.
Right, that's prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flee into their own
Yeah.
land.
That's in Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this, especially the prophet lifting up their skirt, people seeing that this ain't all it's cracked up to be.
At all.
Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 14:12, it says, "Heart thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer."
And Lucifer means light bearer. It's not talking about a spiritual or the spiritual demon Satan. Lucifer means light bearer.
Right.
Going back to the Greek. Luce deals with light or lux.
Mm-hmm.
And fair means to bear or to carry. So Lucifer, the light bearer, or the one who carries the light. And that's why you saw among the elite, they refer to themselves as the Illuminati. Well, they also losing that. Job tells you about that.
Right.
Most High said, Job, the 18th chapter, about the 5th verse, that he was going to put out the light of the wicked. So this is how he's fallen from heaven.
Yep.
Oh, Lucifer, the Most High is putting his light out.
Yeah.
And the scripture said that also in Job, the 20th chapter, that in the fullness of their sufficiency, they would be in straits. To be in straight meaning you don't know what you want to do. You lost that light. See, we know what we're doing, and we know what we want to do, because the Most High has given us that light.
I got that precept real quick. Just
You can bring it out.
this is Job 18:5.
Yeah, it is. I'm right here, brother.
Oh, okay.
Right there, far
Okay.
away, brother.
Okay.
Shit, far away.
God, right. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out.
Right.
Right? This is how they're falling from heaven.
Mhm.
Oh, Lucifer, the Most High is putting out their light.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Mm.
So,
This is
oh,
another-
yeah.
Read
God, I
on.
can read down,
Yeah,
yeah.
come
Verse 6, it says, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle.
The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, you know? So how can light be dark? You know, that's letting you know it's talking about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You can have a dark knowledge. You can have an understanding that's dark.
Right.
So that's the light that it's talking about. You ain't never, you know, man, it's too bright in here. Let me put on a dark light and make it dark. No, it's talking about wisdom, understanding, knowledge. That same wine that he transgressed by.
Right, right.
Most High is putting that out.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay. Going into how he's been able to cast these spells, you know, throughout the land, you know, towards the people to have them actually obey these decrees. You know what I'm saying? That because that wine goes into these same philosophies.
Yeah.
That light, you know, because that is darkness to him. Oh, well, his darkness is his light. Back in Job 18:6, it says, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
So, right. That's the Most High's trick bag. He gonna be entangled by his own
By his
trap.
own, right?
Yeah.
And we get the witness.
Right,
Yeah, you gonna see it.
right,
Real time.
right.
So the Most High say he gonna put his candle out. You don't, that's the last thing you want is your candle to be put out.
Right, because you no longer have any power, like
Yeah.
you're going into.
Well, that means the Most High gonna cut him off.
Right.
Just like he cut us off,
Right.
the Most High put our candle out. But
Mhm.
he lit us another candle, Yahawashi. And now that's why he came back. He said, I am the way. Well, that's the life. But he did say,
He's the light of the world.
the light of the world, the
Right,
light.
right.
Come.
Right. He is that light.
He is the light.
Right. Yeah. Come.
So the Most High brought us light back through Yahawashi. That's the light that we shine, or that shines forth from us. But, you know, Esau had that connection on the left-hand side. That's why people equate Lucifer with the devil, No, they just got light from the left-hand side. They were the light bearers. They were the Lucifers, but Most High is gonna cut them off from their light source. Which is Lucifer. Lucifer he gonna bring them to that threshold, and then he gonna pull back.
Right, because he's a messenger, he's an angel as well too.
Right. So,
You know what I'm saying? Right. So you know, if you can't do nothing against the truth before the truth, you know. But Esau don't know that, you know, because you know that's why the Lord is, you know, plaguing him in the mind, you know, deceiving him, you know, having him think, you know, like the brother was going into in Job the 20th chapter, you know, thinking that he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. But as the scriptures say back in Job 18, I'm gonna read it again, 18 and 7, it says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened. You know, so I mean, the same thing that he was doing, you know, 200 years ago, now it's not effective. And he's like, what's going on? It's been working, you know, the whole while. Why is this same lie not effective anymore? You know, and it's because of Yahawashi, as the brother was going into. You want to read some more?
Well, that was the point, brother.
Okay, all right, you got that. Yeah.
It's Jeremiah 40.
Hey, Salaki, bro. If I
What
could,
you-
bro.
Okay, go ahead. Read
Just
on.
on the Job 17, Salaki,
You want to read down some more?
yeah, it says, I'm just gonna read this real quick, bro. Job 17 chapter, and it says,
18.
18, Salaki, 18, and 11 it says, terror shall be shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. Man. Okay, so like the brother was going into, man, shit, they know America's, they know the military is weak, man. They already said go to jump on this motherfucker, man. Okay, and that's what just simple Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans don't realize, man. This white man that you look up to, and man, his counterparts, they are against him. Hey man,
Yeah.
Satan is against Satan now, man.
Right.
All right, and they gonna take you. They gonna be at war with each other, man. You niggas gonna get caught up in it. Then your house gonna come back and brush all this shit smooth, man.
Hey,
Right?
when you said that about the EU don't want America over there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, like you saying, they come in and Obadiah prophesied that. You know, that they of Esau's confederacy, see,
Right.
the EU is a confederacy here of America. They still are, but we see them growing apart. Well, that's playing in the prophecy.
God. Cause I just wanted that part, you know, brother, they went into that Job, and she was right on point. Hey man, shit, bro, his strength should be hunger bitten, man. We see it, the great mighty America, man. That's the came and wage war and pillage and spoil the world, man. Shit, you weak, man. You the whole now, man. You the bitch, man. Okay? You the cat on the beach, sitting up there with your legs kicked back, cocked back, and they come up and kick dank sand dead in your fucking face, man. They know you ain't shit. You ain't body no more, man. Okay? Keep having faith in this place if you want. I'm speaking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? Because Esau lot is already it's signed, sealed, and delivered, man. Our people, you still got a chance to repent, man, and come back to your power and shake this bullshit off, man. Okay? Hey, it's all said out of love, man. Final warning, man. Okay? Final warning, man. Okay? The watchmen are blowing the horn, telling you, man. We know you ain't gonna take heed, man. We got to do what we required to do, man. Okay?
Yep.
Whether they hear, whether they forbear, man. Go ahead, bro.
You hit that verse 18 because they're going to tie Esau losing his life. That verse 18 in Job.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah. You,
18.
It's Job 18 and 18. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. And I remember that scripture, those that look out the window shall see dark. That's all Esau. It ain't nothing left for you. It ain't nothing left.
And start up another 16, huh?
Con. Job 18 and
15, bro.
Con.
Just read the whole chapter.
Job 18 and 15. It says, it shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Right, he stole it, the house of the thief, man.
Bingo.
You see? It says, brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. Going into what? Babylon the Great. Esau judgment is the same judgment as Babylon the Great, man.
Brimstone and sulfur. Sulfur come from the fire, the nuclear fire.
Yep.
Yeah, come from bonfire.
Facts, which is what the same judgment as Sodom and
Sodom and
Gomorrah got,
Gomorrah,
yeah?
right,
Which
yeah.
is we in that spiritual Sodom, you know.
Yep,
It
yep.
says his roots shall be dried up, beneath and above shall his branch be cut off.
Right.
His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. Yep.
Like I said, they ain't not even gonna even be in the street. No more, man. You know what I'm saying? You look right while you see the Rothsteins, the Steins, and all this shit, man. Shit, all that shit gonna be a rap, man. Esau, you done away with, man. You have been dismissed, man.
Right, right. Thou art deceived. You get that, Jeremiah?
Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahawah, the Lord of hosts. Is wisdom no more in Teman?
Right. It's right there. It is, because we've been talking about that light, that wine, that doctrine. You know, spells, black magic. You know, sorcery, witchcraft. You know, everything is spoken of in what's that? Nahum or the first and third chapter. Where it talks about the sorcery, witchcraft. Yeah. So all of that, okay, all of that is gonna be done away with. But that was his wisdom, okay? That was his go-to. There's no more of that, you know? He has to come out from behind the curtain now. He has to be completely revealed, because that deceit that we were talking about earlier, okay, was because no one knew that it was him. You know, it was always the boogeyman. Right. It was like, oh, well, war on terror, and, there's weapons of mass destruction, and, all of this fictitious mythos, that entertains the mind, but it's also a spell. It's also a program. But now we're seeing that there's no more of that any longer, because of the truth of Yahawashi actually shining the light of Yahawashi on Esau and revealing him. You got it.
You want that Nahum?
Yeah, real quick.
Nahum 3 and 4, it
3 and
reads,
4, the water.
because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts,
Right.
that setteth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts.
Right.
And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. You say the skirt's gonna be on your face. Booty show, man.
Right.
Like you just say you showing naked ass, your naked ass gonna be shown, Jack.
Right.
Straight up, man. The most I'm not playing, man.
No. Right.
Okay.
Right.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, because these are the answers that our people are looking for, and only, the hopefully elect are actually going to have those ears to hear, these lessons, because, Black Lives Matter ain't got the, answer. Nick Cannon ain't got the answers. Professor Griff ain't got the answers.
Damn sure.
You know what I'm saying? None of these cats got the answer. T.I., Lil Flip, or whoever else, you know what I'm saying? Killer Mike. None of
Cardi B,
Straight
got
Truth.
the answer.
None of them. Okay? None of them have the answers for what the scriptures prophesy. Okay? And that's where we're at right now. Okay? Why are we in this situation? And the answers are always in the scriptures. But our people don't have those ears to hear. Right. So now, because we have the answers, our behavior isn't like the behavior of 2/3 of our people.
Right.
And that intimidates and is fearful to Esau. Because really, all of this global meltdown and sorcery and all the rest of that stuff is because he's trying to destroy Israel.
Right.
Okay? If that means America goes down with that,
Right.
he is okay with that. Because he knows, according to prophecy, that we are the ones that are being raised up. Lord willing, we are those hopefully elect. And with us being raised up, that power that he once had, that wisdom that he once had, is now being translated to us as well. But in righteousness.
Right.
Was that it, bro? Oh, come.
It says, back in Isaiah 49, and 7, it says, his wisdom no more in Teman, his counsel perish from the prudent, Is
Right.
their wisdom vanished?
Beelzebub, all the rest of the other, wicked demons that, Esau listened to, Shaitan, all that counsel that they used to go, what'd you call it? Those think tanks and, those people that craft up all these diseases and like they literally sit there and have seances and they draw out the pentagram and shit and cut themselves. That's their counsel. It's no longer working. Okay? He going right back and saying, bro, look, I need something stronger. This ain't working.
It's like in Egypt, Pharaoh and his wise men, they was like, bro, we can't do that shit no more. We was doing the stick and we was doing the water turn, but we can't do that shit. It's over enough. That's the same thing Esau feeling,
Exactly.
Can't do it.
Exactly.
So like,
Yeah, I mean, the point is, what does the scripture say in Isaiah 47? Stand now with thine enchantments. Hey, somebody grab that real quick. I just want to hit that point. Yo, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Isaiah 47:12. It says, "Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries."
We just read that in Nahum.
It says, "Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth."
So once again, this wisdom that we talk about, that wine, that doctrine, this is what you've been gaining momentum and gathering your whole life.
Right.
This is your, what do you want to call it? Your quote unquote destiny per se.
Right.
Even though it is to be destroyed, but this is what you've been working for and laboring. You know how like when you're around Edomites, man, they in a totally different gear as far as like America is concerned. Yeah. Like this is their kingdom. They about their kingdom. But go ahead.
It says, "Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail."
Right. It said if so be twice in the same sentence. Right? Because it's not gonna happen. Okay? Just as it didn't happen in Egypt, it ain't gonna happen in spiritual Egypt today. Okay? Go ahead.
"Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee."
Right. So that counsel that you were taking initially, okay? Go back to that counsel. Go back to that enchantment. Go back to all of the blood and whatever else that you were doing in the groves and touching and feeling and I swear by my tongue and hand and cheek and all the 75 degrees of masonry and all the rest of that kind of stuff, and see if it's gonna save you from this oncoming destruction.
No, sir.
Read that last part again, Baba Bashar, and then we're gonna go to you, brother.
It says,
Okay, good.
thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels.
So real quick, see, there was a time where Edomites were not wearied at all. The good old boys and who is it? Luke and Luke and whoever. Bo and Luke, the water. Bo and Luke, the good old boys, and the hazards. Yeah, I mean seriously, bro. Right. All of that stuff, man. That was Esau's prime. The motorbikes and the big trucks and the dualies.
That full commercial like a rock.
Yeah, like a rock, you know what I'm saying? Chewing tobacco, all the rest of that shit, man. He wasn't wearied then. He wasn't wearied at all. Why? Because he had no concern of Jake. But when the prophets of the Lord are out there on the highways and byways, and this word is going out and it's flooding, and now you got celebrities, even though they ain't shit, latching on to them at least recognizing that they're Israelites. You got Ice Cube, even though he sold out all the way, he's attempting to, mention that. That is destructive to Esau's kingdom. That makes Esau weary. Because that means that the counsel that he had, that potion that he put on all these celebrities and entertainers and that, what is it called? That blood contract, right? It doesn't mean anything because the end is here. Everybody's throwing caution to the wind. They're like, well, shit, I got my money, bro. The only thing you can really do is kill me. And ultimately, I knew that when I signed my name on the line with you anyway. So at least I can do is, you know, tell my people who they are. But that's why Esau is weary in those councils, man. Okay? Because it's not working with the same efficiency in which it was, you know, initially. So yeah, you got it, bro.
It says, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the
Right.
fire shall burn them. They
Right.
shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Right.
There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before it.
Yeah, that's good, because that goes into the thermonuclear destruction that's gonna befall America in itself, man. You crackers are gonna be like stubble, man. You know, and that's according to Yahawashi, man. Anybody else say? Oh, you had one,
I
right?
have one.
The water, bro.
Isaiah 19:3, it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
Beautiful.
And I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits
That's
and
right.
to the wizards.
That's
See,
right, that's perfect.
The elder was going into, you know, all of these warlocks, these witches, these wizards, you know. That's who Esau goes to, you know, for his counsel, you know, and that's their quote unquote job. You know, the scripture says, and what's that in Psalms the 144th chapter, how their left hand is a hand of falsehood, you know, roughly paraphrased.
With the right hand.
The right
Oh,
hand.
their right hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Is a okay, so like it, brothers. So yeah, that in itself goes to show you that those lies, that wine, that deceit, all of that's their power. But they're losing it now. Okay? You got it, bro.
That was basically it on that.
One more time for me, bro.
Isaiah 19:3, it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits
Right.
and
Yeah.
to the wizards.
Yeah. I mean, all these statues, you know, all of these idols, these, you know, these memorials that, you know, Esau has put up, man. You know, he really believes in, you know, that Mount Rushmore and all, you know, Sam Houston. He believes he has a homage to these people, these idols. You know, what is it called? What did we just finish as far as wickedness? We got 4th of July coming up. You know what I'm saying? June 10th, summer solstice. You know, that whole wheel of the year. You know, we're about to get into. Is it next month? We getting into Jason? It's this month. July. We get and can you break that down for me? I remember it a little bit, but I remember you telling me about it. The whole Jason.
Yeah, I don't really understand all that.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, yeah, Esau, when you get into the months of, you got July, August, September, October, November, which spells out Jason. But these are the months, because we're going into the dog days of summer next month. And they're into, Esau gets into that time, well, they basically get into the studying of Sirius and drawing power from Sirius, the star Sirius. You know, that's what the term dog days. The Sirius is the dog star. So that's where the term comes from. The dog days of summer is they going into drawing these powers from Sirius, and that's in that time of the Jason months. So that's a big part of it, Sirius.
Done. So yeah, we're entering into those times of where, you know, Esau is drawing on all of those idols, you know, the spirit of those idols. Babylon in itself is an idol, you know. So yeah, all of that's failing.
And they go into that monthly prognosticator.
Yep.
The watching the skies and all that stuff that Esau gets into. You know, it's on the left hand. That's on the left hand. Now, when we get into the kingdom, Yahawashi gonna give us that on the right. And me and the brother was talking about that out of the book of Revelation. I want to say 22. Look at that.
I remember.
22.
1 and 21.
You'll bring that out real quick.
With the river and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
This 22 and
22. Revelation 22, right, in 1 it said, and he shewed me a pure river of water of life.
Which
Clear.
is the firmament. That clear river water is talking about the firmament, because you go into the book of Genesis and tell you the Most High separated the waters from the waters. He created the firmament, which is water. And it's just clear. That's how you're able to look up and see the stars. You know, the firmament is up there. It's crystal clear. You don't see it. Go ahead.
Revelation 22 and 1 it says, and he shewed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb.
Because the Most High created it, he put it there. And he destroying the firmament. The ozone and all that, he's destroying it with HAARP, chemtrails messing up everything. But HAARP, when they fire up and use that HAARP, it actually blows holes into the ozone in the firmament. Go ahead.
Revelation 22 and 2 it said, in the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month.
And 12 manner of fruit is the zodiac. It comes every month. Well, Most High gonna tell us how he wants it done. Because a lot of times it ain't what you doing, but how you doing it.
Right.
So the Most High gonna show us how he wants us, to enjoy those fruits. Like I said, those 12 manner of fruits. So right, we're gonna have that knowledge. We're gonna know, we look up in the sky, okay, we in this time. And it's time to do this, it's time to plant crops. Esau, get your ass out there and put me some mustard greens out there in that field.
Time.
And I want some squash. We're gonna be able to look up at the sky and say, okay, now it's time for me to bring a son into the world. It's the best time for me to bring my son in, or whatever.
Right.
Hey, it's the time. My lady ain't ovulating. I don't want no child. Let me get it in.
Right.
We're gonna know. We're gonna have the knowledge and understanding to deal with all women on a whole nother level. But read that one more time, brother.
Revelation 22 and verse 2 it says, in the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
For the healing of the nations. So that's going into the zodiac as we know it termed today. And, it might have a whole different other name. Most I might give it a whole another name in the kingdom. But right, we're gonna get into the astrology and all that, but we don't worship it.
Right.
Esau give credit to the creature, or to the creation more than the creature.
Right.
So yeah, that was the point on that, brother.
Yeah, it's just measurements, you know what I'm saying? In so many ways.
Cycles.
Right, yeah, cycles and systems, you know what I'm saying? And laws, and that's what creates order,
Yeah.
I think
Can I just add something real quick? Slocky, brother. Just real quick, your brother just said something there about the things that we're gonna be able to do and control. That's heavy, man. That's heavy, man. Let me just read this out, bro. This is John 14 and 12. This is Yahawashi speaking. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And what else does the scripture say? That the works that Yahawashi did on earth, it can't be contained in books, man. Let that sink in.
Oh, man.
Let that sink in, man. This is gonna be a whole nother ball game, brothers.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm
is.
saying? A whole nother ball game, bro.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And this is not an if, and, but, or maybe, bro.
Don't have
This is a shit show, like you used to say. Salaki, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a damn show, bro.
Sure, word of prophet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why you people is gonna make haste in the time of trouble? We not, man. We gonna stand firm, man. 'Cause we already know. Hey, man, faith, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. A gift, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Salaki, brother. I didn't have to get that in, man. We're gonna do greater things than Yahawashi that he done already done, bro. Go sit down, bro. Sit down, bro.
For eternity though.
Right.
Like you kind of said last week, after 1 billion years, what? Then what? It ain't like Esau. Esau, like even movies, a simple thing as movies, he got to keep doing reruns and remakes. No, we gonna have new things. It's gonna be constantly new. We ain't gonna be bored. Like, hey man, I'm tired of listening to this shit. You know, listen to old music, man. No, it's gonna be new things every day we create, man.
Right.
It's gonna constantly flow. You know, like the Heavenly Father, man. We don't know half of what the Heavenly Father created. What it said. What it said. The least among them gonna be as David, but the house of David shall be as the Most High.
Yeah.
We're gonna be creating man stuff for forever, man.
Right.
You know.
Right. Real quick, just land back on what brothers are talking about. This is Daniel, the 2nd chapter, and I'm starting 19. It says, "Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in his night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven." Verse 20, Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of Yahawashi forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his." How about that?
Take that.
I mean, but wisdom and power comes from Yahawashi, man. That's the reason why your wisdom is being put out.
Yeah.
Your power is being put out. The ultimate source is saying, guess what? You cut off. Because now that power is going to be cleansed and given to his men to be able to do greater. Okay? Because that's why the name of Yahawashi is going to be praised forever and ever. Whatever that is.
Right.
Okay? Because ever in itself is continuous. So, right, that's another dimension of thought. Okay?
Right.
Verse 21. "And he changeth the times and the seasons, and he removeth kings, and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom to the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him." It's perfect balance, man. So Yahawashi, what Esau tries to do, you know, in war, which is play both sides, he got that thought process from Yahawashi. Because Yahawashi is perfect balance. But the balance is going to be restored to Israel because it was a part of prophecy. Okay? That was all I wanted to add on that. Did anybody?
Yeah, Daniel 4 say that Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right.
You know, and he give it to whoever he please. Yeah,
Right.
bring it back.
Daniel 4:17. It says, "This decree is by the decree." This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the bases of men.
So it's the Most High world, man. You better look at it. We all just squirrels.
Right.
Out here trying to get a nut.
Right.
Right, bro.
But yeah, Most High gonna do with the kingdom as he sees fit.
Right.
And as the Apocrypha said, he's about to set up one over this kingdom who is profitable, who is his only begotten son. And in his perfection, in the perfection of Yahawashi, there won't be a need for another changing of the guard.
Right.
So this will be an eternal kingdom.
Right.
You know, Yahawashi is not going to bring no corruption into it. Corruption brings to an end. Righteousness brings to life everlasting. Come. Yeah.
Wealth. Going back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, wealth.
You know,
Health is wealth. now they pushing this COVID and stuff, man. Brother had some a beautiful video where Esau tested the air.
Oh, right.
Without a mask, one, and with the mask, and he used what they're using these refineries.
With OSHA, right? OSHA
Air monitor.
right?
They have these air monitors. They call them sniffers.
Mm-hmm.
And they detect air quality.
Right.
Because you in these plants,
Mm-hmm.
fumes will build up and you won't even know it.
Right.
And then just the least little spark will set off and
Blow
explode.
that bitch up.
Right.
Yeah.
You out of
So
there.
they have these they call sniffers, but it's they OSHA qualified, and OSHA they are calibrated to OSHA specifications.
Right.
Right.
And he said anything that's under 20 or
Right.
under 18
Right.
or
He said
it
he
gotta
need to
be
be about
above
20. Yeah, he need to be the 20.
at least 20.
Right.
So under 20, you getting into trouble. And so he put the thing right to the corner of his mouth, and I think it was 21 or 22. So he was good. Then he put the mask on and put it right to the corner of his mouth, and like within seconds, it started beeping.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And he had a reading of 17 something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from the carbon dioxide he was exhaling. So with those masks on, you just recycling the same air. You getting a little oxygen through that mask, but you rebreathing your own carbon dioxide. And that's, over a period of time, that'll take a toll on your health. You know? And so, right, we don't have a health of wealth or wealth of health, Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the shit that Jake eats, the stuff that he puts out there for us to consume and ingest, it's, we losing
Right.
on every side. So
All the way around.
why wouldn't you want to get into this truth? Why wouldn't you want to get on the side of Yahawashi, Hamashiach, Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, Hamashiach, because he is the light of the world, and he is the way, the truth, and the life. He started pushing death on you.
Right?
Right.
You know?
Loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody say, nobody want to die. Most people want to live forever. Well, Yahawashi can give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want Yahawashi. It ain't gonna work no other way. There is no other way
Right.
to live forever.
Right?
Right.
And you gonna have to die to win Yahawashi.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually, and then, somebody's gonna pass physically. Somebody's physically gonna have to die. But the reward is life.
Right?
Life is the reward. There's nothing this devil can do.
Right.
You brothers got it.
Once you understand death, you understand the spirit. Most I give you this understanding, you understand death, bro, then you really have no fear of death, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in this truth, bro, and the most I dealing with you, and you fear death in any capacity, bro, I mean, you ain't got the full understanding, bro. You can pray and fast and read some more, bro. You know what I'm saying? But death, that's nothing, bro. That's nothing, bro. If it's required, then it's required, bro.
Right.
For the greater picture, bro.
Yeah.
That's real. That ain't big talk, bro. It's faith and knowing that this is all, it's written, bro. You got it, bro.
Right.
If we need back, bro, we good, bro.
Right.
So what we gotta bump our head and spray pile bones and rock it. You know what I'm saying?
We died before.
That's right.
We died before.
Many times.
Perfect mindset to have the 7 brothers and their mother and the Maccabees,
God.
man. They was ready. They went.
Right, yeah,
they
they
took
do
out
it.
like, come on.
But do it.
Because they understood I'm going to be back anyway.
Right,
I've been there
yeah.
many times. I
Yeah,
died
right,
already
right,
before.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
You feel nothing but your Yahawah power, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Esau uses. Esau will use that death, ignorance, as a weapon towards our people.
Right.
But like you said, when you understand death and who controls it,
Right.
then you good.
Right.
Because then you can align your fear. Yeah.
Right.
So that was it.
Come. You can, you know what I'm saying? Align yourself and just be, hey man, we call to be soldiers, man, for
Right.
Yahawashi Mashiach, man. Okay? We call us for war, man. Shit. We can't have no fear, man. How we gonna have fear when the victory is already ready, bro?
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna, hey, but hey, know what I'm saying? Shit, hey, bro. The price Yahawashi my shop to pay, man, come on, man. Ready to pay it back gladly, man, if that's what it takes, man.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Come on, yes. Psalm 68 and 20.
That's where it is.
It says, He that is our power is the power of salvation. And unto the Most High, the Lord, belong the issues from death.
That's it.
That's right. That's right, man.
I was about to say, you just brought up that scripture. Yahawashi said the things he did, we gonna do greater. You gotta think. He said in Jacob's trouble, you do get put to death. Didn't Yahawashi get raised from the dead?
Right.
You feel me? Not shit. Even before he come back, you might just raise up in Jacob's trouble again. And then when you raise up, you got the power, superpower.
Right.
You feel me? So
If you get put to death, the Most High can raise Yahawashi raise you back.
Right.
All you can go through it like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and don't even feel a pain.
Right.
They came out. Because who was in there with him? Yahawashi.
Right,
Remember
right,
Nebuchadnezzar said the form of the fourth is like the son of the Most High. You see, they came out no burnt marks, no nothing.
Right.
The same man, we have to believe in these accounts. They written.
That's right.
Romans 15 and 4, the things that was written full time was written for our learning, man. So when we read it, we can have faith that damn, that happened to them, or it can happen for us too.
Exactly.
You see, it's men who didn't feel pain. It's men who went through it. You see, but they was okay going through it, man. It's different. Yahawashi was raised from the dead. Paul, he got stoned, came back up, went prophesied right back in the same cities he just left out of, man.
Like, what's up?
Come on, man. So we in great company. We know all these things, but the people in this world, they ain't gonna have that wisdom and knowledge in them times to stay stable, man. But we you know, you got it.
No,
You got it.
You sure?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, it's a lot, bro. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So the issues from death are in the hands of Yahawashi. And as brother was going into those scenarios, we could be healed as those bullets. I mean, just like what's dude's name? Wolverine. You get shot and you know what I'm saying, your skin just start to heal itself.
Yeah, yep.
But we're talking about things that are spiritual. We're not talking about things that are natural any longer. Because this is the realm going forward. Everything that's happening is in the spirit. But you got to believe that Yahawashi can raise you from the dead, that can heal you, you know. Scriptures also talk about miracles. If you don't think on these things, as the brother was going into in that Romans 15 and 4, right? Then why would they happen to you?
Right.
You know, I'm not saying, you know, just by doing that, you know, all brothers are going to receive. But what I'm saying is, hey,
Have faith.
Have faith, man.
Have faith. Hey, can you imagine a brother being led to the guillotine and they dropping that bitch, and when the blade hit his neck, the guillotine just
break in half.
crumble over like they don't give a bitch out, bro.
Yup. You know why that's not a hard thing to believe? Then King David said he broke a board steel with his forearm.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on,
Yeah.
that shit can happen.
Yeah,
That
it's
shit
gonna happen.
Shit, stop right sooner, you know. You catch that bitch, grab that bitch, you know, throw it, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta think like that, though. You know?
Exactly.
You gotta think like that.
And you got to live like that. See, because that is exactly what Esau's whole system is right now, as far as creating doubt, creating fear, creating disbelief. That's why Scripture talks about the incredulity. Don't let that, you know, affect you, man. Because they're not going to believe.
Right.
But we do. So what are you going to do with that belief? Especially in the time of Jacob's trouble.
That's the whole point of a miracle, though.
Exactly. It has to be an insurmountable situation for you to overcome to where you can give Yahawashi a shot of glory.
Yeah. In order for you to get saved out of something, you have to be put in there first. We will be put in situations so the Lord can save us out of that. So that could be the peak of the story, man. You see, we know Daniel because he went into the lion's den. But if we wouldn't have that example of him getting saved out, if he would have never went up in there, man. So brothers gonna be put in situations, but remember the Lord gonna do whatever type of work he gotta do to get you out of there, man. You know.
I got a quick one. Anybody got something real quick?
I had a quick one.
Come on now.
Just going into what brother was talking about. It's 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13, going into the point that I was talking, it says, but I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. 14, it says, for if we believe that Yahawashi died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahawashi will the Most High bring with him. You know, just going into that point. You know, so them which are asleep, them which be dead, passed away, Yahawashi Mashiach. So we believe the Most High rose up Yahawashi gonna raise them up with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's not you just reading it.
Nah, that's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, do you really believe Yahawashi was raised?
Yeah.
Do you really believe? You know what I'm saying? It's not just what is it called? Lip service.
Right.
You know, all the things that have been made manifest in the year of prophecy 2020. Shh.
Yeah.
Man. You know, and it's only half of the quote unquote year.
Right.
You know, that is a faith booster beyond boosting. You know, was that it, bro?
That's it.
This is Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. Going into it actually reads the dangers of unbelief, because, you know, as I was talking about earlier, that's what Esau has to push: death, corruption. You know, he can't push life. Nothing about him is life. Everything about him is death. You know, the Lord took away, you know, gave him leprosy. He got, you know, leper's hair, and he got all recessive genes. You know, the basis of men. The Lord gave the kingdom to the basis of men just to show his power. But likewise, he's going to be able to translate that back to the rightful owners of that power. You know? But you cannot have any doubt. What does the scripture say about doubt?
Evil is evil.
Is as sin? Is that in Romans? You know?
Anything that is not of faith.
You got that?
I can get it.
Hey, that's one thing Yahawashi hated. He hated that doubt shit. You know?
I mean,
He
yeah.
hated that, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, anyway, I'm going to read scriptures. This is Hebrews 3 and 12. It says, take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power, but exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. For we are made partakers of Hamashiach if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end.
If.
Right.
So you're required. This is a requirement. Shit, can't get out of it.
Cause it's conditional, you know. We went into that 2 weeks ago about the terms and conditions. You know, the Lord made a covenant, an agreement with us, to where we can uphold to our end of the bargain. That's the if. That's the difference between the 2/3 and the 1/3.
Right.
1/3 gonna hit that hole, you know, through the spirit.
Right.
2/3 is gonna
In the
But
wilderness.
the Most High gonna keep his word, bro. He ain't never broken, bro.
Exactly.
He's the keeper of covenants, man.
Verse 15, it says, while it is said today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts as in the provocation. For some, when they had heard, did provoke, howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness, and to whom sware he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believed not?
Right.
So you can't enter into his rest without belief. Miracles can't happen without belief.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the spirit that we have through Yahawashi literally destroys this world. Do not lose your confidence in what Yahawashi has given us from the very beginning to actually execute at the time in which we're in. Okay? You haven't been reading all these precepts. You haven't been going through all these trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? You haven't been getting vexed on the daily and being built up and refined in the spirit, to where at the very end, You like, oh, I don't know. Last verse. Hebrews 3:19. 3:19. It says, so we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's ultimately what's gonna get us saved is faith. Real quick, in 1 John 5:4, for whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith, man. You know?
Romans 6:23, it says, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat it.
Right. Because, doubt and unbelief goes into you not having trust and confidence in Yahawashi. That is the direct association of doubt and unbelief. That means that you don't believe that Yahawashi can do it. And that's what Esau wants. You got it.
So like in Romans 14:23.
Okay.
It says, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
Right. Whatever is not of faith is sin, man.
Right.
And so this is our practice walking in faith. Scripture says the just shall live by faith.
Right.
That's not just, oh, okay, man, I got faith, you know what I'm saying? If the bus don't come, another one gonna come. That's in all areas of your life. Finances, women, children, whatever. But most importantly, these scriptures, man. Okay? Oh, yeah, you got one?
Yeah. So, and this is Apostle Paul speaking in 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 14. And he's saying, if Yahawashi being not raised, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain. So just going to the faith and believing, So he was basically going over and saying, if you don't believe Yahawashi raised from the dead, the preaching that you were pushing out is in vain. And your belief is vain too. Your faith is vain too. So we have to have faith in that.
Right. Yeah, because it's gonna get tested. Just like right now, we're in a scenario of, being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, you know what I'm saying? We get our mask and all the rest of that crazy shit or whatever, but it's going to be a point to where, hey, it's going to be mask off, And you literally are going to have to put your faith at the forefront. Y'all brothers have anything else? I wanted to read this just, I guess, to kind of wrap up everything because I had read it earlier. And if you brothers got any other points, and if not, then, we can close out. But it's from going back into, what we were talking about, America in itself. I don't know what's going on with this shit. It says, this is an article. It says ConnorBoyack.com. It says, America, the most wicked nation on the earth. And this is from September 14th, 2012. And I'm just going to read it straight through. It says, Americans and the government, which rules over them, commit plenty of wicked acts. How do you say that word, brother? Infanticide. Yeah. Occurs on a apocalyptic scale.
Yeah. You're going to the child trafficking and all
Oh, okay.
the killing of infants.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Infanticide. It says the crime of killing a child within a year of birth. What's it called? Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. Planned Parenthood.
Abortions. So just, like I said, just kind of wrapping up on some of those thoughts. It says infanticide occurs on an apocalyptic scale. Millions of innocent people worldwide have been prematurely sent to their death because of immoral and offensive warfare, blood on the hands of Americans once dedicated to life and liberty. Consumerism has become a plague, and Americans purchase things they don't need with money they don't have. That thick clay, which we had talked about earlier. It says the government prints and borrows without abandon, enslaving future generations not yet born. You know?
Yeah.
That's America in itself. That's what Esau's system is to enslave and entrap you through that policy. You know, going back to, you know, you can have something, you know, as scripture talks about in Sirach, I believe 12 and 13th chapter, you know, he'll befriend you for a while, you know what I'm saying, until he got it, and then he'll kill your ass. That's wicked as hell. It says, the governments print and borrow money without abandoning, enslaving future generations not yet born. People's privacy is routinely and systematically violated. You know, so all, you know, these cell phones, you know, all of this is leading to that mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, man. You know, Esau just ain't gonna give you something, technology out the blue, just for your benefit. He's doing that because all of this is, you know, those gradual steps towards, you know, that mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. Last couple sentences. It says, the standard of morality has sunk below anything worthy of measuring, and pornography and adultery have become as common as bread and butter. And Americans have come to demand a government that takes care of them for themselves, unwilling to assume personal responsibility. So I just wanted to add that, bro.
You know, America has lost its luster, right? You know, people are waking up. People are waking up to the wickedness and the evil deeds and doings of America. And they're fed up. The nations have drunken of her wine, and the nations are mad.
Man.
You know, and they're waking up, and you know, there's going to be hell to pay. It's the reason why Isaiah the 13th chapter said that he shall be as the chased roe. You know, he's done a lot. He's done a lot in wickedness, and that wickedness is about to return back upon his head. You know, you brothers have anything?
Shit, one more. Oh, now go ahead. You had something, brother?
No, I'm holding Isaiah 13.
Shit, go ahead, bro.
Come on, Isaiah 13 and 14, it says,
Go
in this
to 12.
12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
Like
Even-
brothers going to the spiritual powers and all that, and the Most High raised us up glorious. You know, well, even before that, in the time of Jacob's trouble, when all chaos is surrounding us and everybody else, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of all times. The knowledge and wisdom that we've been prepared in through the word of the Most High. It's going to hold us down. The Most High going to have the backs of his servants.
Right.
These women going to see that. They're going to be drawn to you because you're going to be confident. You're going to be cool with it, brother, talking about women are attracted to confidence in a man. So they gonna see us cool, calm, and collective. We're gonna come off as confident, due to our faith. Faith is confidence. That I know Yahawah.
Right.
Like the brother said, Most High ain't never broke a word.
Right.
What's that? Numbers 23 and 19 tells us that the Most High is not a man that he should lie.
Right.
So you can be confident in the fact that, you know, his only begotten son is coming back, and he's coming back to deliver the hope for the elect. You may not know for sure you of the elect, but you got to walk in that faith that you are the elect. You know, and that's in putting pride to the side, putting ego to the side, strictly just hanging on the word of the Most High. So, right, and this is what's going to get us through. That knowledge and wisdom being the stability of our times. But go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 13 and 12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
Oh, and the Most High going to kill a lot of them. He's going to be putting a lot of men, women, and children to death. So something becomes precious when it's scarce. Let there be a shortage of water. Just like toilet paper when this COVID first started. Esau shut down the toilet paper supply. Toilet paper became very precious. People started gouging the price on toilet paper. It became precious. Well, that's what's gonna happen with men. Most High gonna start eliminating a lot of men, and you're gonna have a lot of manless women looking for that protection of a man.
Right. Ask prophesy.
And the men of the Lord gonna start to look good. We don't look so good right now, but we're gonna start looking good in that day.
Right.
With our beards and no edges, no edge ups and none of that. Just, just doing the best we can to survive in this world, brothers ain't out there living by the standards of this world in order to make it. So we could ball and again, cater to the ego. It's all this ego driven. Most High is gonna destroy ego.
Right.
It's all about Yahawashi. He's destroying ego and pride.
He said those saying back in the day, he on the ego trip, man.
Yeah.
Ego tripping, man.
De La Soul got a song I like,
Right.
Ego Trip.
Right.
That Curtis Blow,
Oh, I ain't heard him.
you never heard that one? That's
I
an
ain't
old one.
heard
Who got who
I know
got
Marvin
that?
Gaye.
You're right, sure did. Sure
Yeah,
did.
Ego Trip tonight.
God, you sure right.
I like that one too, but I ain't heard. I may have heard it
It's
and
old, bro.
realized.
Ego tripping.
But the Most High destroying ego,
Right.
So there's nothing for nobody to be proud about, or nothing to be proud of.
Right.
We gotta get back to being lowly and meek. Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah.
But that time is gonna come when the men of the Lord are gonna be more precious than fine gold, and women gonna be clinging to men like nobody's business.
Right, they gonna see the spirit on us, just like our dad talked about a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
They probably see it now. You know what I'm
They do.
saying?
They
Yeah,
see it, bro.
yeah, they see it now because you walk in these grocery stores and stuff like that, you can see it in people's eyes, man.
Yeah,
They spook.
They gone.
They crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
No, I'm disagreeing.
yeah. I mean, so the point is, yeah, man. Like they gonna see gold walking.
Yeah, man.
They gonna be like, man, look, just our inner strophe, man. That behavior. You ain't gonna walk as one that don't know. You gonna walk as one that do, or that does.
I just don't laugh at me, bro.
It's too late.
My last couple encounters going in like the Walmart, bro, with the Max's Mandatory or the HEB, bro. I done had bad motherfuckers come up to me and just start talking, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, she looking me dead in my eyes.
Yeah.
She ain't about a mask. What
Right.
is she?
Right.
If this wasn't
Yeah.
the other time, you would be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when the first time it happened, I discounted. The second time, I did with that third time, I'm like, hold up, bro.
Right. There's something going on.
Something going on. I'm like, damn.
Right.
Shit.
Right. Yeah.
Just
Right.
trying to hold. I'm trying to, you know what? I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
All right, then. But shit, I ain't gonna break that mean we in them days, man. Shit.
When they transition.
Plenty of choices, man.
Well, right. I mean, even in purification, even going back to the gold real quick. Last point, as far as gold goes through a process of being purified before it's actually molded, and so purity in itself is attractive to women because they know that they're impure. So you got the purity, you got the spirit of Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? You might, you got light coming from your eyes. Your spirit is uplifted because of all the things you seeing, being destroyed in Babylon. All of that is precious to Yahawashi. How much more so, a woman that sees it, and she don't know why she's attracted to it, but she knows that it's powerful. She knows that it's what does the scripture say? What's that? Isaiah 32? It talks about how a man will be a hiding place from
the wind.
From the wind.
Right.
Covered
from the storm.
Yeah,
from
bring
the
that
chills.
out.
So shit, yeah. Women gonna be, they're gonna be knocking those down. They're gonna be looking. And we're gonna be beating them off, man. Because we already got our woman, man. So feel.
Right.
So whoever got that.
Somebody seen that verse?
You got it?
32.
Isaiah 32, like two.
Two?
It's two.
You got it?
I had.
Whoever got it.
Bring it out, whoever got it. Quick fire.
Isaiah 30, Isaiah
Well,
32,
yeah.
verse 2. And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
Bro, that's how they approached you. You know? It's like, bro, I know you got something. You know? You got a beard, I can see the beard through the, you know what I'm saying, through the mask.
Right.
You know?
I'm a funny looking fat nigga with a mask. You know what I'm saying? This bitch sitting up here, damn near 6 foot tall, long fucking hair, no ring.
Right. Yeah. You a hiding place, bro.
While I'm picking through the ginger.
Because,
Right.
but think about it. We in the secret place. Right? We in the secret place of Yahawashi. They don't see that nowhere else. When they come across a man of the Lord, they like, oh, hold on. That's a hiding place. Spiritually, read that one more time, Papa Kushar.
It says, Isaiah 32, verse 2. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
Shadow of a great rock, right? Ask John, right? Same scenario, you know. Hey, when it's hot, bro, hey, you want to cool off. When you're thirsty, you want to drink. When it's chaos and destruction and anarchy and upheaval in the city,
You want a cover.
Yeah.
You-
a woman.
a woman want a covering. So yeah, that was all, bro.
I'll finish this out. Isaiah 13 and 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Go ahead.
13, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord Yahawah of hosts.
That's the Most High's ultimate judgment. That to rain down that fire in the form of nuclear missiles, that they gonna make the earth rock and reel to and fro.
Right?
You know?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the Most High gonna bring the hurt.
Right. Yahawashi.
Most High gonna bring the hurt. And then people run around here playing games.
Right.
You know, they got their mask on thinking they doing
No,
something.
sir.
Right.
I'm safe, but you ain't put on the covering of this world. Esau told you need to cover your face, but we've been telling you need to cover your spirit.
God.
And you ain't did it.
God.
Right.
And you scared of COVID, but you ain't scared of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi.
Woe into you.
Con. You know, which is something more worse, more bigger, that, you know, anything that this devil can cook up or
Right.
put out there. But hey, you're gonna find out, and it's gonna be too late,
God.
you know.
Real quick,
Mhm.
it says, dang it. I thought this was it. Where it talks about how they take covering, but not of me. Is that 30?
30.
Oh, I'm in 31. Salaki. No wonder. I'm looking hard. I'm like, I'm in 30, 31. Salaki. This is Isaiah 30 and 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that take.
And that's directed to Israel.
Mhm.
Israel is a rebellious house, man, majority. And there is an Israel of God, Galatians 6 and 16, that the Most High is raising up a peculiar people unto himself that makes up that temple, the body of Yahawashi, that bride that he's coming back to claim. And Lord willing, we of that number, of that body.
Lord willing.
Right.
But the rest of Israel, they're a rebellious house.
Right.
They don't want to hear nothing Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi got to say. Now some of them, they'll listen to Jesus all day long. You tell them Jesus said,
Right.
you know, but you get into Yahawashi, is Yahawashi was austere. Jesus is the, you know, do what thou wilt. That's Jesus. When you get into religion, Jesus come as thou art. You can eat that pork. We're not under the Old Testament no more.
Right,
It's a new covenant.
Right.
Yeah, well, covenant is two sides of contract.
Right.
It's an obligation on both sides. What's your obligation? you can just do whatever you want and be in covenant. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though, brother.
That reminded me, that's another idol.
What's that?
Jesus.
Well, religion, yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a major idol.
That is an idol like a mug. Back in
It is.
Isaiah 30:1, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. We went into the counsel that our people are taking, the counsel that Esau's taking. Basically the same thing. They're not taking the counsel of Yahawashi.
And listen to what the Most High got to say through his servants, the prophets. Because we just some bugged out, whacked out Negroes out there screaming at everybody.
God.
You know, with no rhyme or reason.
Right.
But right, it's a reason behind it. There's a purpose. Go ahead, brother.
But not of me. And that take cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Right.
And so the brother was going into how, you know, these people put on all these masks and stuff like that. They taking a covering, but not a Yahawashi Yahawashi. So it's gonna fail anyway.
They're not putting on their righteousness, that white linen.
Right.
The righteousness of the saints.
It says that they may add sin to sin. So
Beautiful. All right, Doc.
Come on, Isaiah 13:13, it says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. 14, it says, and it shall be as the Salakia, Isaiah 13:14, and it shall be as the chased robe.
And that's the point that we were getting to, because the brother was reading that article. They was talking all of the dirt and the filth that Esau has been engaged in. Esau being the so-called white people, it's all coming to the forefront according to Mark 4:22. There's nothing covered that won't be revealed. Loosely paraphrasing. So now all this stuff is coming out, man. You know, just like with your body. If you ingesting toxins for so long, eventually it's gonna come out. Well, Esau been doing so much dirt, putting so much toxins into the earth, and trying to be secretive about it, trying to hide, but now the Most High is bringing him to the forefront and saying, look, this is the cause of the world's woes. This man. He is behind, you know, everybody basically can't afford to live.
right.
He is behind crime in the streets.
Yep.
He is behind the poison in your food and all of this. He is behind it. The Most High is showing you. And then again, our people rebellious don't listen. We telling you that this man is the devil because the Most High set him up to be the devil.
Right.
And now look what he's doing. But our people refuse to look. Then yet he can tell you to put on a mask and you jump to it.
Man. After he just killed you. After he just put his knee on your damn, you know, chest, stomach, whatever, back.
Neck bone.
You know?
Right. Gonna let you niggas march, go burn up a few buildings we got insurance on. Now we're gonna force you niggas back in the goddamn hood with these masks, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna force you back in there, bro.
Like it ain't nothing.
Right, bro? And you niggas gonna fall in line like you always have. Man.
Right.
You niggas ain't about it, man. You niggas ain't about nothing, man. Y'all trusted in the white man, but you think the white man gonna actually level off, okay, and pass some laws and legislations. Like the brother we just went through earlier when we first started. Now they got the Black Lives Matter. They had the NAACP before that.
Right.
They had the shit before that.
Black
That shit ain't
Bullet.
manifest a goddamn thing, man.
Right.
They will not.
Right.
Never have, never will, man.
What's that? The National Association of the Advancement of Colored People.
Right.
And we ain't advanced. We still at ground zero. Jake, I like how what you call Claude Anderson put it. Jake will move lateral and think they doing something. Jake just move side to side, but they don't move. They don't move up.
Right.
Until you start moving up, you ain't doing nothing.
Right,
Jake
right.
just go right or to the left.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
You know. But yeah, it should be as the chase road. Esau, because he's done all this dirt and it's being exposed. People are like, now they looking at this devil with disdain. They looking at this devil with loathing.
Right.
And as soon as the opportunity presents itself, they will get at this devil. A lot of people itching to get at these Edomites.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go
You
ahead,
better get
brother.
away from him if you know what's good for you.
Yeah.
If you found hand in hand with him, man, sure you do.
And the scripture go into that. Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 13 and 14, it says, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
And a roe is like a deer.
Mhm.
The deer being chased because it's hunted.
Mm.
That's Esau. He's gonna be a chased roe. People gonna be out for his blood. Go ahead.
They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
We
Spoke about that
on
earlier. Gone.
Yep.
Gone.
Right. Then we in that time. People leaving America.
Right.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 14 and 15, it says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through,
Mm.
and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
So you're right. The Edomites that's found, they're gonna be thrust through. And those that are joined to this devil, they're gonna fall by the sword.
Mm.
Especially you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, who ain't in your right mind, who are
Right.
not in your right spirit,
Right.
and you think that this devil can do no wrong, or that, well, there's some of them, but there are some good ones. No, they're all the devil together. Each and every last one of them.
That's right.
So yeah, that was the point of that. If brothers didn't have nothing else, we'll conclude
Yeah,
this
nah.
lesson.
You told us something?
You got one? All right. Well, we'll conclude this lesson, man. We pray that you brothers was edified in the spirit of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. And, man, with that being said, all praises, honor, and glory goes unto
Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash.
Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to our Akim, our brothers in arms, our brothers in faith around the world that's doing the work of the Most High, standing strong in the spirit. You brothers keep fighting, man, keep pushing. Because the Most High fishing to get us up out of here, but it ain't gonna be pretty.
God.
It ain't gonna be smooth sailing. You know, we gonna go rough ways before we get up out of here. But just know for a fact that the Most High is gonna hold us down. So till next time, you better stay up. Shalom.
Shalom.
Rawchaa.
Shalom. Death to the wicked.
Right?